Hello, family. Today I have an amazing guest that I have been pursuing for the past 5 months. I was saying to him, someone who I followed his narrative and his story currently when it comes to the issue of the business environment in Nigeria. I think I met him through Zainab Buba Galadima. And that's where we've been talking. And since then, we've been trying to get him on set so that we don't talk too much and so that we can get straight into the business and we don't waste our time. I'm sitting currently, I promise you, permit me to pronounce the name the way I see it, Honorable Yusuf Sharif Modu. Did I pronounce it properly?
Yes.
At least I tried. I'm beginning to get into the Nigerian pronouncing things.
Popularly known as Sharif Banki, right?
Popularly known as
Sharif Banki.
Sharif Banki.
Banki.
Can you please explain that part first? Let's know. For those for the international community, because
Yusuf Sharif Modu.
Sharif Modu.
Yusuf Sharif Modu.
Yusuf Sharif Modu.
Yeah.
Popularly known as
Sharif Banki.
Sharif Banki. I'm interested in Sharif Banki. And you don't want to explain that part. So how did that AKA comes into the picture?
Well, Banki is my hometown. You know, Banki is a commercial hub of the Northeast. International gateway of people to the people of South Cameroon, Central Africa, Sudan, Chad, Libya, and others into Nigeria.
Serious?
So my hometown is a border town. It's a commercial town, I can call it.
Yeah.
And that is why I think it has become my own nickname. And besides, I also work with bank and as pioneer staff of Sterling Bank in Borno State, and then. And I did everything humanly possible to take branch to my hometown, and that was the reason why I even joined bank, because we don't have bank despite having a high volume of turnover. We in fact did a market feasibility studies then, and we discovered that Banki alone has about 21.1 billion naira monthly average turnover as of 2007.
Wow.
So this is just one town in Borno State.
Okay, now that you talk about Borno State, tell me something about Borno State that people don't know, apart from the whole issue of this, what's it called? Possibly looking for Boko Haram and all of these things that is happening. What is the thing that people don't know if you are to say Borno State now?
Well, you know, terrorism is now a global phenomenon.
Yeah.
Where people just wake up in the morning and find themselves in that scenario without them being prepared. Borno was known as home of peace, accommodative. They respect people, they respect strangers, they honor visitors, and they accord everything to their visitors. And that is why you will see that I have my own childhood friends who even their grandparents are Igbos and Yorubas, and they speak Kanuri fluently just like I do. We school together, we live together in peace and harmony. And there are other things that people are not aware of Borno. When you mention Borno, people will assume like the entire state is under the control of Boko Haram.
Yeah.
But the case is not like that. By the time you go there, you will discover that this thing you are hearing is not existing in Maiduguri. And it's not existing in virtually all the local government headquarters in the states, in virtually most of the communities. But of course, there are terrains where even before the Boko Haram crisis, there are insecurity issues.
In those terrains?
Security issues, yes, on those terrains, like armed robbery and so on, because of the, you know, Borno is very big. So the landmass is very big, and Borno alone is bordered with 3 countries, Niger, Cameroon, and Chad. So you can imagine, you can imagine the landmass of that state, and of course you cannot expect the security to cover everywhere at a time. But you know, like I said, the issue of the insecurity came up when we are not prepared.
I hear you.
So, and that is why, and you know, terrorism is always different from normal agitation.
I hear you.
Like what we call the men in the Niger Delta are agitators, like the Biafrans are agitators, the Libyans are agitators, but these Boko Haram are terrorists. Yes, I classify all of them as terrorists, but this very one, they are on that the elder they claim to represent Islam while they are not. I'm a Muslim. I'm a Muslim from a Muslim family. But I never, none of the members of my family ever, even in the history, associated themselves to any kind of criminality. So now, if today somebody come up openly on television or either on media to say that all Muslims are this, or either for even those terrorists to come out to say that they are representing Islam, is like just an insult on our own, personality and understandings. So our own, the issue, Borno is actually is not what people thought.
I think because it's a sensitive season for you, especially the period you guys are on Ramadan. I want to just go to this side before we go into all of what you do. How do you guys feel when you see this very particular terrorist group try to use Islam as a medium for them to perpetrate their extremist tendencies under the name Islam to perpetrate their act?
Well, we always feel bitter and very angry because they are poisoning the minds of people, minds of the people that don't have much knowledge about Islam. Islam itself means peace. And that is why it's not everybody that actually believe in one. Of course, you can find criminals in every religion.
True.
You can even find there's no religion that taught how to kill people, or either to or allow people to kill. You go to even the southeast, you will see even the Biafras are killing people. They are killing their fellow Igbos. They are killing people down there. If you go to Nigeria later, it's happening the same thing. And if you go to southwest, you find the same thing. And in all these are prohibited. Even both in the Bible and in the Quran. But yet you find some people carrying out such atrocities. So that does not mean that the people will be happy. I believe there are moderate Igbos, moderate Yoruba people, moderate, South people, moderate Muslims, Northerners, that once anytime, like just 3 days ago, they went to Ngoshewan under Goza local government in Borno State. Boko Haram killed many people, uncountable number of people, cut their heads, play football, just like football with their heads, and then they video it and share it all over. Who will be happy, you think? Nobody will be happy by watching this kind of things. And these people tomorrow, they will come and say that they are representing. So why are in Islam that people are being taught to just go out and kill innocent people, irrespective of their religion inclinations?
Sayings are out there in the public that these people perpetrating this act, like you just said, Borno is bordered with Niger, Cameroon, and Chad also. That the people perpetrating this are literally not even Nigerians themselves, but let me narrow it down, not even Borno themselves. How true is that statement?
Well, let me tell you, the truth of the matter is that you can find it from everywhere. Some are from Borno, some are from Niger, some are from Cameroon and Chad. The major problem we are having is the crisis in Libya. Because like I told you, Borno is international gateway, the people of Libya and Sudan. The kind of the arms that littered during Gaddafi's topple in 2011, it actually infiltrated everywhere. So people can now easily get arms through that axis. So it was through Libya that was imported to Nigeria. So that is why you see, and they recruit people, indoctrinate them into that criminality. So it was on that basis that they actually, they give money, they buy people, they do all sorts of things and so on. And don't forget that Nigerians are living in an abject poverty. True. And by the time the terrorists cut off the community from the mainstream, from the states, or even once they cut off, those people that fall under their own jurisdiction will now lack water, electricity, medical services, all the basic necessity of life. So at that point, they will be left with no option other than to join
fully. I hear you.
And this is how they used to recruit people. And that recruitment, they are doing it rapidly. And that is why you see, no matter how they kill the terrorists, tomorrow you will still see them in large numbers.
I think because you play in that very particular area, from Borno to be precise and stuff, if you were to be given an opportunity for you to solve this very particular problem currently, to make sure that, because to be very honest, when I discovered that, you're Borno, I'm like, okay, how did he survive? Knowing too well that all of those things. To be honest, I know I'm coming up. Somebody tell me Borno. I'm like, which of the Borno? Is it the one I knew that is outside of Nigeria? So let's say you're given the ability within the security cluster to solve those very particular issues of the Borno crisis that is happening. in total, the insecurity issues in Nigeria, what would be your response?
Well, I don't normally believe in lamentation or complaint most of the time. That's why I'm a problem solver in my own way.
Yes.
You see, the problem of even Nigeria itself started when we started undermining the traditional institutions. Our traditional rulers are the custodians, not just our culture, but also our own parents, grandparents, way of life, way of doing things, activities, farming, securing the communities, and what have you. Our traditional rulers knew virtually everyone in their communities.
Okay.
The government must give importance to the traditional rulers. These traditional rulers you are seeing, they're not even supposed to be under like local government. They're supposed to have a ministry of their own, maybe or either under the secretary to the government of the federation, or under a new ministry of maybe emirate affairs or either traditional rulers affairs, so that they can be part and parcel of decision-making process. The state government cannot sit for an executive council meeting without having a traditional ruler, maybe the chairman of the state traditional rulers council, or maybe the two major traditional rulers, or maybe 6, one per zone can be part of the FEC that Mr. President will be holding every week. So that then they have their own part of contribution to the safety, development, and prosperity.
But in a country like Nigeria with 36 provinces, how do you think that would work, having all of the traditional rulers into
the entire northern Nigeria is under Sultan of Sokoto.
Okay.
Once Sultan speaks, no traditional ruler in the north disputes.
Okay.
Once he leads, others will follow, irrespective of their religion, tribe, or states.
Okay.
We have this order in the north. But I don't speak for the south.
I hear you.
And in the south, when you go there, some will tell you that Oni of Ife is the highest, and some again from the southeast, you see that they will dispute. Last time what happened in the state, yes, just listen to me.
Yeah.
It happened in the villa where the traditional ruler spoke, and the traditional ruler from the southeast came out, Inugu. He said that if Mr. President wants to do anything with them, he should do directly with the traditional rulers of the southeast. That is, he said, and I quote, Southern Nigeria is not like North, where the only traditional rulers in the North are under the Sultan of Sokoto. So the South, it means, is divided. So that is why I suggest that I say, okay, in this kind of scenario, all the 6 geopolitical zones
should have a representative.
Exactly.
I hear you.
So that they can be part and parcel of decision-making process.
Okay.
The reason why I say like, okay, it's only in Nigeria that you see somebody is just moving freely without having identification, ID card.
I was told that there's need now NIN. So
NIN people thought is only meant for account opening in banks, or maybe only for maybe international passport, or maybe only for buying SIM cards. Believe me, most Nigerians don't know even the importance of the national ID cards you are seeing. But go to Cameroon and see. In Cameroon, you cannot move from one town to another without having Dandite, their national ID card. In Chad, you cannot do that. You cannot enter Cameroon to do any of that. There's nobody in Cameroon that is sitting there without ID card. You can't. Because they're skilled, they again control all their borders. I could remember last 3 or 4 years back, the immigration boss was saying that in Nigeria we have more than 1,400 borders that are not protected by our own. Because we don't have enough security personnel to even look. So it means people can come in and go out at their own will. So how can we provide security? This national identification card, if I were asked by government, I would just tell them, look, nobody should enter taxi without having national ID card. Nobody should enter motor park without having national ID card. Just like the way people cannot enter aeroplane without ID card. Nobody should even go to school without having national ID card. Nobody should go to Islamic school without having national ID card. Nobody should even go anywhere without having national ID card. By the time, for you to move from Maiduguri to Yobe, you must have your national ID card. For you to move from Yobe to Bauchi, you must have your national ID card. At least by doing that, Nigeria will have data of their own citizens. Again, everybody will now have sense of belonging and knows that he's a citizen, he's a son of the soil.
I hear you.
Wherever you go, once you show, you'll be just given access. Anybody that doesn't have it, they will say, well, park. In Cameroon, once you are moving, they will stop and they will say, that is it. You just show them. Yeah. Anybody that doesn't have it, do you know what they do? Well, bring him down.
You go get it by force.
The driver will just proceed. They will just proceed and they leave you there.
Okay.
And they will not go and lock you up.
Talking about the whole concept of data capturing of Nigeria, I'm happy you actually good to that road. How come it is easy? This is now me going to the business side of you now. How come it is easy for foreign investors, for them to be able to have some consolidated data of understanding Nigeria in doing business, but for strange reasons, Nigerians don't have data of themselves in doing business in the so-called Nigeria? What's going on?
The problem we're having, since you mentioned Nigeria, is that in Nigeria, we actually prefer politics than any other thing. We prioritize politics other than investments, other than creating employment, jobs, creating wealth for the country. That is why you see in Nigeria, we campaign for 4 years. Today, you will be elected as governor or a president. And the day you are declared winner, that is the day you will start thinking of the next election. And that is the day you will start campaigning for the next election. I'm telling you. And that is why we will never get it right.
I hear you.
So there must be a time for governance. And there must be a time for campaign.
Okay.
There must be a time for election. And we have to also forget about second term or coming back. Once you are elected, you only have that 4 years time frame.
Do your thing and
do whatever you do. Even if you're going to vie for the re-election, it's up to the people to decide that one. But you should be focusing on what you have at hand at the moment. What do you have there? You have only 4 years. And what do you say? When will you hit the ground? You're supposed to have your own cabinet even before you are sworn in.
I hear you.
On ground.
Okay.
The day you are sworn in, the following Wednesday or maybe Monday, you will send the list to the National Assembly for confirmation. And when you are sending the list of the cabinet, you have to attach their portfolios as well.
I hear you.
Not just send somebody, maybe that studied medicine. You now send that person to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Or maybe somebody that studied medicine, you give him maybe commerce and industry. Political works. Or professor of works. It's better when you are sending the list of the ministerial nominees, attach their own portfolios. So that when the senators are screening them, they will ask them questions based on the criteria, based on their own portfolios. So that Nigerians will know whether that man can actually perform effectively or he will fail. And it's now up to the president to decide whether that person deserves to be Attorney General and Minister of Justice of the Federation. Or this man can effectively deliver the Minister of Agriculture. So this is how it's supposed to be done. So now coming back to that investment, or data is I'm just laying the foundation.
I hear you.
And here you are getting it wrong. Without getting the foundation, you will never get it right.
I hear you.
So now, by the time we get all those, because I started with the solution, if you see.
I hear you.
I did not start with lamentation. I started with the solution.
That's right.
By the time you put everything in place, you can now reach out. Well, we don't have to be relying on a World Bank statistic.
I hear you.
We don't have to be relying on World Food Program, all these international communities. Them to have their own countries.
I hear you.
They should go and focus on their own countries. We can do that as well on our own. When was the last time we did census in Nigeria? It was in 2006 under Obasanjo. 2006. And this is 20 years back. 20 years. So up to now, we did not conduct a census. Do you know what we get to 2020? Sometimes I just see like somebody will just sit down and just create figures and just based on social assumption, and we now give our figures. Even the National they're supposed to be doing more than that. Okay, take an example of Ministry of National Plan, Budget and National Planning. National Planning. It's a sensitive ministry. But of course, in Nigeria, people will say it's not a juicy ministry. Because if you are even nominated as ministerial nominee, you start maybe to be sent to the juicy position. You are not thinking of creating one or ever to bring in development to your country, but rather you are thinking how to enrich yourself.
I hear you.
And your own siblings. The moment they heard that their own brother is now a ministerial nominee, in fact, black tax have become their own problem soft. They are just truly now, they're done with poverty now. Because one of them is now
sitting down.
So forgetting the fact that you are not being appointed just for a pleasure of yourself, just maybe to enrich your CV, just maybe to, please your own siblings and friends and families, but rather to contribute your own quota to the development of your own country and write your name in the history of Nigeria. So now,
I think I'll pause you there because we'll come back on to continue the statement of the data issues and investment in Nigeria. So family, don't go anywhere. If you have any question you want to ask us with my guest, please, you can definitely use the email and the number that is on the screen, and we'll try as much as possible. Hopefully by the time we'll be coming back, Ramadan will be over, so that at least it can give me more time to explore this. Yes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back just now on the second segment. In case if you're wondering, we're back on the second segment, and so we'll continue from the conversation. The part of the data, before we went on the break there, which is investment in data, it's very hard for Nigeria, the average Nigeria, to find it. And you were trying to explain something which you've done in the first segment. So I needed to continue from that side. How do we get to the point where data for Nigeria seems to be in the hand of the West, but the Nigerians themselves still struggle to have the data? So we can go, yeah.
Okay. The problem is that we mostly rely on white people or either the Western world.
Okay.
Look at you now. You have your own fine place. You have your own TV show. You are an African, Nigerian and Pan-Africanist.
Pan-Africanist, yeah.
But some people, the perception of our own people, they will not have regard for you simply because of the way you look and where you come from.
True.
But the moment if they see me now having an interview with a white person now, the kind of the attention they will give is entirely different. So now go back to that data issue. You see, the federal allocation itself to states and local government is being determined by the population, by the data, by population of the people in those states, and also the contributions of the states to the federal government.
Okay.
So without having, and the reason why you see that some states at some instances could not pay their salaries, they could not do, some states are paying half salaries, some states are paying 30% salaries, some states, after paying salaries, they cannot execute any projects, Some states you will see after, paying salaries and without even executing projects, they will just see them, busy borrowing loans and what have you. And that is why we say the Nigerian government is borrowing uncontrollably. Let me tell you, the issue...
How is the Borno State of Nigeria currently now?
Nigeria government, the amount of money that Nigeria government borrowed from 29 May 2023 to today, that me and you are sitting now, is higher than the amount of money that Nigeria borrowed from 1960 to 2023, 29 May.
Wait.
This is verifiable.
The current debt, which is in the case narrowed down of this government,
of course,
is higher than the whole entire independence of Nigeria
from 1960 to 1969. I'm telling you, because everything, and during Buhari, what Buhari borrowed in 8 years was higher than what Nigeria borrowed from 1960 to 29 May 2015.
So every government borrowed
more than, I'm telling you. And now, what Buhari borrowed in 8 years, this administration borrowed in 1 year.
So, as I said, I feel like sounding like this activist. I don't know if I call him activist on online. I can say that I don't have a problem. He will say,
so where are we going to? Do you know that if today they sat down and divide the Nigerian debt to all Nigerian citizens,
$5,000 minimum?
No, you pay more than that. Who told you that? You pay more than that.
As a Nigerian, the last time I checked, because for you to take it to 1960, I was thinking it's just this government that will be owing about $5,000.
You will pay almost $10,000. You alone know. I know. And if you want Nigeria debt free now, we all have to contribute that money.
$10,000.
So now the problem is this: where are they taking those resources to? Is there a proper planning before even borrowing the money? The kind of the projects we are executing in the country, are they on exorbitant price? Something that maybe you can execute with 10 million naira, perhaps they may write 100 million. Something that can be executed with 1 billion, maybe They can be
the political elites we have currently in the government.
So this is the problem we have.
Do they think about Nigeria or do they think about themselves?
Well, I think this question is for them. Because as far as I'm concerned,
as far as
I'm concerned, they don't mean well.
Okay.
This is my own sincere opinion.
Yeah.
They don't mean well. Believe me. Look at the children. Yes, some might say it's not their own responsibility to take care of the children on the street, especially in the north.
Okay.
And I agree with this kind of people, especially if they are from the south.
Okay.
Because we have our own government in place in the north. We have local government administration in the north. In 2020, I looked into the eye of President Muhammadu Buhari and told him in Daura that Baba, the only good legacy you leave for the northern Nigeria is to eradicate Al-Majiri system in the north.
Okay.
I said, transform it. Build schools for them. Employ their teachers. Instead for you to call it Al-Majiri education, call it out of school children's program.
Okay.
Where you can have school in each of the senatorial districts in the federation. So that our own brothers and sisters from the south will not feel like we just want to provide alternative for our own, Al-Majiris on the street. So if we do that, and again to have the persons living with disabilities houses as well.
Yeah.
In each of the senatorial districts, where we can have a vocational training centers for them that can be training them. And also the Al-Majiris, they will be serious, we can engage the chief imams, we can engage this. This one also has to do with the collecting data.
I hear you.
So the issue is that it's not the priority for our own politician. This issue me and you are talking, or other Nigerians are talking, it's not their priority. Their priority is how can we all be on the same platform?
I hear you.
How can we be in the good record of Mr. President?
Yeah.
How can we earn favor from the president? And tomorrow, if this president leaves, the same people you are saying will turn their back and start abusing him. Look at what happened to President Buhari. As the moment he left the presidency, all of them abandoned him. True. One of them now holding, even I think is number 3 in this country or 4, that was with him, Buhari throughout his life. Since Buhari left office, he never for once visited him. And this Buhari himself was talking about it. So I can point out maybe like 5-6 people that I knew. So this issue of data is sensitive.
Okay.
Nigerian government should have to start thinking outside the box. Stop relying on international communities. Stop relying on international agencies.
Okay.
And focus on our own, agencies. Empower them. Give them all the necessary equipments, financial resources, and everything to execute these projects. Let us first of all have our own data. Know ourselves first, so that I can tell you exact number of people in Banki.
I hear you.
I can tell you exact number of people in Abuja, exact number of people in maybe Ondo or Akwa Ibom or maybe in Imo. You understand, or maybe in Plateau here.
Yeah.
But for now, that is why you see, my brother, the worst part again, there has been attack on daily basis in Nigeria. People are being killed on daily basis in Nigeria. And nobody have their record. There's no record. It's only somebody will wake up in the morning and say that 100 people are killed in Borno, or maybe 100 people are killed in Plateau. And nobody will take that.
What is the security cluster of Nigeria in talking about this?
I'm sorry, before we even go. Yeah. And again, in all the hospitals in Nigeria, we are having newborn babies every day. Who is taking their record? Who is harmonizing all?
Okay, now that you go to the hospital first, let's even think about that. Is there I don't know what it's called in Nigeria, but South Africa, it's called Home Affairs. Is there no Home Affairs center in all of the hospitals in Nigeria currently where a child is born and the data is taken immediately from that place?
It's an option in Nigeria. Wow. It's only at the elite hospitals that they take this type of market that you get about. But believe me, go to villages, go to the local government and see. In most cases, in fact, when you are coming to the hospital, you come with all your kids. By the time you deliver the baby, they immediately wash the baby and put it back, and then you now go back home without any issues. So believe me, my children were born in Abuja here.
Yeah.
Believe me, in one of the best hospitals in Abuja here. But do you know that it was one of them after 2 years, one after 1 year, one after almost 6 months, that I went to the National Population Commission myself to go and register there. Because I wanted to do international passport to all of them.
Okay, I get you.
I just did for my last child now. It is now 1 year, about 7 months or so.
Yeah.
Just last 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. So if Nigeria is optional, so we are completely left behind. How one country, developed countries in the world, or either even South Africa that you stayed there before, I'm sure you know that once they get back to the
that's what I'm saying. The moment they get back to the baby is already registered.
They issue a certificate of everything.
Exact certificate of everything in
Nigeria. Even for me to get passport for my children, I know what I went through. So everything you have to go and look for it.
I hear you. Now I want to pick your brain because of time, and I want to be able to capture a lot. You operate in a banking system, and I think if I remember very well, you mentioned a particular bank named Sterling Bank, and you were part of that very particular process of stuff. When we look at the financial ecosystem of Nigeria now, knowing too well that you have operated in the money side of Nigeria, which is the bank side, do you think that current Nigeria is bankable?
Well, we have issue again. This one also, the elites, or either, it's a bureaucratic kind of a structure.
Okay.
Nigeria, like even the banking sector itself, just like Nigeria itself, it was actually structured in a bureaucratic way that favors only the elites. And that is why you see, today, for instance, the big men, you see the Elubelu, Jumovia, with Dangote, they will just go in the sea, and having a chat. You know what they discuss? They are not going there just for pleasure. They discuss business. Dangote might come up with business idea.
Let's keep it for him.
You can say, I have an idea of $1 billion example. I'm just giving you $1 billion investment, and this is the ROI, return on investment, and this is the time frame, 6 months, or maybe 3 months, or maybe 1 year, and this is it. So I can contribute $200 million. Okay, there, and then another person will say, $100 million. This one will say $500 million. This one will say $300. At the end of the day, they will give it to Erufa. Dangote.
Yeah.
And Dangote will now add it on top of his own capital and do that business. At the end of the day, they will all have their money and go away. What happened to people like you and I?
What happened
to other people?
Yeah.
What happened to them? You don't even know what is happening in the banking sector. Once you are at the lowest level, you don't even know. And in most of Nigeria banking...
No, you're fast in saying that, please. Please be slow. You don't know what is happening, what?
You at the lowest level in the banking sector, you will not even know what is happening in the bank. Most of Nigerian banks, you are saying, they have two ways of operation. One is known for the general public, the other one limited to just themselves. So, and that one that limited to just themselves is between them and the regulators. They know what they are doing. So this one, I don't want to double into.
I hear you.
It's their own. If they can give you money without collateral, they can give you this without this. They can do all these kind of things, bypass everything and do their own through that ledger.
I hear you.
So meanwhile, the one that is open for Nigeria is you and I that you sign your check with no money. If you have money, you say insufficient. Once you want to transfer, you say insufficient. This one is for me and you that are on the streets. So, but now I know the present governor of the central bank has introduced again another policy, a new policy where, requested for increasing the capital base of the banks. Like I think any banks that will go international have to, I think, must have 500 billion naira.
Yeah.
The national banks, 200 billion naira. And then the regional banks, I think about 50 or so billion naira. So which is very good. Because you cannot go international without having this kind of commercial base. And now I have seen that some banks started merging. Merging with one another. So this, I believe, will further strengthen the banking sector. But on other way, banks in Nigeria are not meant to have Nigerians to develop themselves. There's no human capital development. They're not developing people. They're not helping at all. They help only themselves. Unlike other countries where one can have access to funds.
No, so I'm scratching my head because...
Yes, you cannot have access to funds in Nigeria. No way. They cannot have. They don't give you. If you like, the bank, maybe your bank, you may be banking with it for maybe more than 20 years now. Go and attempt.
So what you call it? Find a business loan.
Attempt to have access to funds.
Yeah.
Whether you see whether you can get it or not. You won't get it. So the only thing they do is among themselves. They do businesses among themselves. They share their own profit among themselves.
So what's the importance of even banking?
The Nigerian government alone will never satisfy all Nigerians. There must be private investors.
Okay.
This is where our own area now comes. Without having private investors, you cannot have the developments that you are looking for. And if humans are not developed, forget about all these capital development projects we are talking about. Human infrastructure, they call it Nigeria stomach infrastructure. If people don't have means of survival, whatever you are doing, they will not even think of it. And for you to satisfy everybody, you need the private investors.
I hear you.
And these private investors need confidence in the financial system in the country, need confidence in the government itself. That no investor will want to come and bribe government officials before he will be given a platform to invest his money. And after knowing that, he can take that same amount of money to another country and invest without paying anybody. Some investors that are coming to Nigeria, for instance, they are being monitored by their own countries. So if they make any mistake here, they will be held accountable in their own country, and they will be prosecuted and jailed.
But Nigeria is the opposite.
But in Nigeria, they are even collaborators. There are cases that right now before Nigerian court for over 20 years now. When American government even already prosecuted the culprit on their own aspect, they jailed them. Some of them have spent
finished jail time and
everything. While in Nigeria, they are billionaires right now moving, and they are the one even deciding there. You know, deciding when in Nigeria you see somebody that finished jail time in UK coming to Nigeria at the airport, people will come out in thousands to welcome him in the celebrity way and take him down to his state. So investors, like I said, they need security, both in financial aspects and the physical security. They need confidence in the government, and also they need support from the citizens themselves. Without putting all these things together, we always find it difficult. I'll look at the example, for instance, Abuja here. I brought an investor to Abuja here, and he said, Sharif, I cannot invest in Abuja. I asked him why. He said, why will I be seeing police checkpoint everywhere? It means Abuja is not safe.
I said it, if people thought I was mad happy, now you've heard. He said from Abuja themselves. Yes. At least we have been foreign.
Yeah, he said, I cannot invest in Abuja because Abuja is not safe. I tried to convince him that Abuja is safe. He refused to listen to me. He said that, okay, the safest place in Abuja you took me is Asokoro, Maitama.
Yeah.
I saw checkpoint even down there, he said. The police checkpoint gave him an impression that Abuja is not safe.
I hear you.
And therefore he said he cannot invest his money. He cannot move freely. He cannot move without security. So he said, what is the guarantee that I will have my money back? He refused and left. And that was the only reason he has.
I know you operate in the investment side of things all the time and cool. When people want to come to Nigeria to invest, what is the biggest, discouragement?
Corruption. You have to give money before you will be even given a platform to invest.
Corruption.
And again, the process is very difficult. Instead of, for instance now, you have maybe $1 billion you want to bring to Nigeria to invest. The banks will frustrate you.
How?
Government officials will frustrate you. They will do that. You have to bribe before they even clear your money.
I'm coming to invest.
Yes.
I have to bribe them.
You have.
For the money that I want to bring into the country.
For every license you want in Nigeria, for everything you want in Nigeria, it must come with a price. And that is why the people are being discouraged. So if you don't have money, they will tell you that you have to give money to the social person when you see him, or you have to see this person, you have to see this one. And wherever you are going, you must go with envelope. And then this man is coming to invest to help your own country. And you are sitting. You have to collect envelope before you allow that man to. So this is the problem.
Okay. You have said a lot, and which is something that I want you to think as we go on a break currently now, and which is a question that I ask on my radio station. And so I'm going to ask you, with all of this that you have said, who truly owns Nigeria? It's an answer that my guest is going to answer on the final segment of this very particular show as it begins to ponder from literally during the period of the caliphate and all of the obas that were ruling down to the Berlin Conference. And you and I know too that the last segment of the things among all of these 7 cadres is you and I. The question for him to answer us, having understanding all the ecosystem of Nigeria, is who truly owns this country. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back just now. All right, family, we're back at the final segment of this very particular show. I've been sitting with, I want to remember your AKA.
Sharif Banki.
Sharif Banki, that's the one I'm looking for. Yeah, so I've been sitting with Sharif Banki here, and we've been talking about all things Nigerian. And this very particular segment, which the final question I asked him on the second one that will start now, who truly owns this country called Nigeria? I'm tempted to actually say this contraption. I don't want to go there. Let me try to be positive. I'll tell you. Who owns this country?
But first of all, you should know that not the citizens that own, the masses that own the country. The masses don't own Nigeria. Nigeria is being owned by, one, the Western world, two, the Nigerian elites. So whether one like it or not, these two categories of people are the one that always determine even who should be what in Nigeria. And this is the reason why we always remain where we are. Mm. And then I can give you one or two reasons. One, you see that every election, you see Nigerian presidential front runners always travel to UK, to Chatham House, to address media down there.
Who are they chattering?
I don't know. They go to Chatham House. They call it's a Chatham House where they have different media outlets, different interest groups, and throughout the Western world, especially, particularly UK. They go there to address them, tell them your own manifesto. Tell them what you think about Nigeria. How do you want to transform your own country? Believe me, that's what they do. All the foreigners must go there. This is one. Forgetting that the people they need to address are Nigerians.
Yeah. Okay, before we go, the Chatham House, after they go there to do their addressing and all of those very particular things, what do they give these guys to bring back to Nigeria?
Nothing. They just promote you as lobbyists. I just see them as lobbyists. You know, they will now sit down and say, okay, so person his own agenda is good for Nigeria. They are the one that will even determine either your own agenda or manifesto to your own country is good or bad.
Okay, these guys, they go to meet.
So we are giving them on the platter, but we are giving them in Nigeria. No, they live in UK. They live in UK. Chatham House is in UK.
I know, but
so what they do, you go there and address them, tell them your own manifesto about Nigeria, tell them what you think about Nigeria, and then they will sit down and assess your own statements. And then put everything together and say that okay, so person is the best, because the same way you go, your own opponent will also equally go. At the end of the day, they will now sit down and say, okay, so person is the best, just like the best. That's all. But again, they will be monitoring you because you have your own lobbyist down there that
sponsored you.
Yes, that are going to be working for you. Mm. Maybe they will be going to the Prime Minister's office, they will go to US President's office, they will go to all these European Union leaders telling them that so person is the best, we have to get this, our interest is so person, we have to do this. Let me tell you, Nigerian presidency or either leadership is always being determined by consensus of these people, number one. If they decided, look at what happened in 2015. When they decided, they made a consensus that Jonathan must go.
Who are these consensus?
The Western world.
Okay.
They spoke to President Jonathan. They monitored Nigeria at every point in time at that time. They closely monitored the happenings in Nigeria during that time. And they told Jonathan when Mr. Orube was trying to disrupt or either stop the collection of the results, President Obama directly spoke to President Jonathan and said that we are currently watching. You have to stop them. So they are the one that always determine. And the same thing happens. And then when you come to Nigeria again, there are elites that are that serve as agents of the Western world. They sit down and decide. So what you see the masses are doing, the normal voting, joining queue, is just a formality.
So from your own point, who truly own Nigeria? The Western world, the elite.
Yes.
And the last one.
And I didn't put any category other.
I know you, but the last one will now be
the formality. The masses are just for formalities. They just join queue, spend their time, cast their vote, fight one another, kill themselves, jail some people, punish some people, give drugs and abuse, all sorts of abuses to the children of the poor. But what actually gave birth to the insecurity we are having. Because the children of the poor that we prevented them from having the education are the ones that will stop our children from having a peaceful sleep tomorrow. The same way the children that were denied before are now stopping us from going to our villages, moving around freely. The same way the ones we are seeing right now are going to do extend similar to our own children, unless we address this issue. So if as president now, you knew that it wasn't the masses that put you there, why would you have respect for them? Why would you have regard for them? Why would you have empathy for them? Why would you worry about them? What do you have for them? Nothing. You just do whatever you want to them. And besides, you think that there's nothing they can do tomorrow. There's nothing.
Do you think that the current clusters of elite are literally in touch with the reality of Nigeria?
They don't care. They are aware, but they don't care.
And what do you think?
So it's up to the masses now.
Okay, that's where I want to go.
It's up to the masses now.
Okay.
To come out en masse and vote, exercise their own rights by voting massively. You know, even the region, this so-called region that Nigerians are saying, you can only rig election where you are popular. You cannot rig where you are not popular. The region is me and you contesting for House of Rep, for instance.
Okay.
And I knew that under free, fair, and credible election, I will end up having only 45% or maybe 40%. But you, I know if I allow you, you get 55 and you will be the declared winners. So all I will do is to manipulate the process. Reach out again, manipulate everything, and then at the end of the day, I will rig the election in my own favor. All I need is just 10%, not much.
I hear you.
But if the difference is wide, like you have 80%, I have 20%, there's no way I can make it.
Why is the Nigerian political, system makes the president more bigger than the party? What happened?
Well, it was abused by it was started during Obasanjo. Before Obasanjo time, it wasn't like that.
Okay.
It wasn't like that. The party was always ahead of those in power.
I hear you.
Because even the manifesto that will be implemented is always drafted by the party.
Yeah.
If a candidate drafted his or her own manifesto, he or she has to bring it to the party for vetting. It's from there that they will now harmonize it with that of the party. And then they will start the implementation. So now, since Obasanjo became president, the day he started ridiculing the party, it was the day he removed Chief Audu Obe from national chairman of the party.
Wow.
So it was from that time that the subsequent leaders say, okay, it means I can even remove national chairman and nothing will happen to me. Since that time, no national chairman ever completed 4 years tenure, either in PDP or even major opposition party, apart from Oyogun of the APC that served only 4 years, one term. Even he was prevented from coming back for second term. So the issue is that if the party is supreme, believe me, we will get most of this thing right. But problem is that even them, they are doing boy for the people in power. Beating them, they ridicule themselves and they have no respect in the eyes of those people. That is why you see the same, without the party, you cannot be a candidate.
True.
And then without this, is party that is saddled with the responsibility of funding your own campaign. There's a limit for your own funded campaign. Yeah. Of course, it's party. Because INEC, under normal circumstances, monitors your own funding of campaign, the sources and also the fund. So, unfortunately, the party is no longer supreme in Nigeria. Not only party, you are talking even about party. Even our own Nigerian institutions, government institutions are not stronger than individuals. Individuals are stronger than the institutions. So you see that all the institutions are being centered around an individual, forgetting that the individual we are now hyping, giving him undue influence, will end up, leaving power after maximum of 8 years. And then we ridicule our own system. And another person that will succeed the person will continue from where that person stopped. So the same gesture we extended to the predecessor, we must extend it to the successor as well. So that is why we are always getting it wrong. Under normal circumstances, judiciary is an independent body.
Yeah.
INEC is an independent body. Police is an independent body. DSS, well, they are created just to protect the elites in Nigeria, not for masses, just for elites. So, but it's understandable. Military is supposed to be independent. But unfortunately, this is not the case. It's entirely different. Everybody was rushing. Everybody is rushing to the president. You are elected a governor of your state, a leader of a subnational government. You are elected just like the president was elected.
I hear you.
You have your own resources independently. You have your own local governments under you. You have your own state legislature that legislate or oversight your activities.
Okay.
You have your own local government. Even the local government has their own councillors.
I hear you.
One of the tiers of the government. So you are independent. The same president that everybody is rushing to right now in 2019, from 1999 to 2003, he was an AD. Under AD.
Yeah.
The only surviving AD governor from the Southwest. He remained there. He refused to align with Obasanjo. And he remained as governor. Worked towards strengthening his own party. Worked towards strengthening opposition in the country. And align with others, like minds. At the end of the day, they succeeded in in defeating an incumbent government.
I hear you.
And now here they are. They are in their 10, maybe or 15 or 11. They are scared of the president. They gave him power that he doesn't have.
Okay. Because of my press for time, I just have less than 10 minutes for this to be over now. Rumors around the streets, which is something that I've seen, and I can see it a bit. And maybe because for me, I'm still new, and so my perspective about things in Nigeria is still from a mirror standpoint. The whole constraint about the Northerners feeling excluded in the hands of things in Nigeria. We have the agitation, like you just said, we did the Igbos, whereby they feel they're excluded. The Yorubas now are in powers, and everything is now shifted to that very particular space. I choose to believe that from your own standpoint, what do you think this government is doing that needs to be corrected if 2027 will literally give them that very particular card again?
Well, first of all, it's very unfortunate that politicians in Nigeria have succeeded in diverting the attention of the masses from their own failures by bringing in or introducing a religion, tribal, and ethnic sentiments.
Okay.
If people will assess you, they won't assess you based on your own competency or capacity. They assess you based on your tribe, religion, or either your clan. So once people start assessing you based on that, definitely we will not get it right. For instance, now we are talking about the rotation of power from between the north and the south.
You said something that is very interesting. You just said between north and the south. I didn't hear the east.
No, when I say north and the south, the entire south is in box.
Okay.
And then the north is entire 19 states.
Okay, I get you now.
So, our leaders have succeeded in diverting our attention. And the issue of rotation of power, they deliberately refused to include it in the constitution. It's not in the constitution of Nigeria.
Rotation of power.
Of course. It's just a gentleman agreement. It's not constitutional. And they can make it constitutional. They can amend the constitution and put it there that after every 8 years, the power must go back.
But that can be 8 years, can it be 4 years? So that,
no.
You know, if you fail or not, you
let it even be that 8 years. There are better people in every zone in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Either in the north or the south, there are better people. It's just that we say, if somebody wants to become president, if tomorrow you want to become president, first of all, I would just look at you and say, this man, is he all right? Does he know what he's doing? How much does he have that you want to be president?
I hear you.
Or how much does he have that you want to be local government chairman? Or even have governor? Or even House of member? You may be very effective in National Assembly. You may give effective representation to your own constituency right now, for instance.
Yeah.
But your people might not vote for you because you don't have money. Because they always identify with those that have resources.
So which means they recognize poverty.
They weaponize is an even understatement.
Okay.
They deliberately did that. Because if tomorrow they say, it's a Yoruba man now, it's a Kanuri man now, it's a Hausa man, it's a Fulani man, it's this and that. We don't talk about what matters. We don't talk about competency, capacity. So if they do that, you see them even in National Assembly, none of them is talking about rotation of power until when election time comes. Because they know that one will favor them. Okay, if tomorrow now Atiku contests from the north, for instance, have the candidate, is the candidate for the maybe major opposition from the north, you will see that virtually most of these senators and House of Rep members from the northern Nigeria under APC might lose most of them, it will affect their chances because a candidate from the north is contested and is on the ballot. And their election will be conducted same day with that of the president. And our people, most of them don't know how to differentiate the ballot papers.
I hear you.
They will just do sack from top to the bottom. No matter how competent you are, you will go. And no matter how clueless you are, you will be elected. The same thing might happen in the south.
In the south, so true.
So if look at what happened last election when Obi contested, a taxi driver became House Rep member. Okada rider became House Rep member. In fact, the person that even defeated Elumelu, Tony Elumelu's younger brother, indeed Elumelu, the minority leader of the house, was the taxi driver. So you can see so many such this is what we call political tsunami. So it happens, and in 2027 might be worse than what we have seen in 2023 and 2015 of Buhari 2015. That is why some people, it was because of Buhari they became governors in the north. Many people became governors because of Buhari. Many of them. And many people became senators because of that political tsunami. So the same thing will happen in 2027. So the northern Nigeria right now, believe me, when they are complaining bitterly, but our own brothers and sisters from the south will say, no, they are our turn. When Buhari was in power, they did the same thing without checking the facts. Fashola was the super minister during Buhari tenure. He was the Minister of Power, Works and Housing for 4 years.
Okay.
The subsequent one, Power, was removed under him, but he still remained Works and Housing for another 4 years. That means he served for 8 years.
Yes, okay.
Rauf was Interior Minister. Amechi was transportation. He has under even the airport and others under him. It was even during the second term that the airport was removed. That is, if aviation was removed under the district. They are all from the south. The Foreign Affairs Minister, Godfrey Oyoma, was from the south under Buhari. So many of them, even the Minister of Trade and Investment, Ni Adebayo, former governor of Ekiti, they are all from there. The Solid Mineral Minister, Fayemi, is from the south. So Buhari actually did, a level of fairness, extended level of fairness to the south. But can you compare it with what we are seeing right now? Tunde Faudaha, was he not from the south? He was the chairman of the FRS under Buhari. The central bank governor from Delta, Igbo from Delta. Throughout Buhari's 8 years was the central bank governor. In fact, he was even appointed by Jonathan, not even Buhari himself. So you can imagine, these are some of the things that was extended to the south. But some people will just be talking because our politicians succeeded in misleading us, diverting our attention from their own fellows. They don't want us to be talking about them. So here we are, even Buhari did it without cross-checking everything.
I think because of my time is pressed, and also I'm hoping that by the time Ramadan is over, we'll come back and do a part 2 on this, because there's a lot that you were saying that need for us to tie the knot, for us to be able to construct a new Nigeria, because we have to be able to talk about it and stuff. With all that you have said, what is your pinpoint about this country called Nigeria?
I still have hope. I can never be hopeless. And I believe one day the masses will wake up.
We've been saying that since 1960. It's almost 65 years.
It's almost 65. But it became worse from 1999 to date.
And yet Nigeria will be better.
Before 1999, it was okay. Even under military. Sometimes. So what I'm saying is that I still have hope. Because if I say I don't have hope, you say you don't have hope. Mr. B said up to Z, we all say we don't have hope. And we don't see any good thing coming up from Nigeria. At the end of the day, we all lose. And do we have any other country other than Nigeria? The answer is no.
True.
You can be in South Africa, but you can never be South African.
100%. But I agree.
Yes, and you can be in America, you can never be American.
True.
Even the black that were born there, they never accepted. Up to now, they didn't accept them as their own, as citizens of America. So, not to talk of those that migrated to America. So here in Nigeria, we don't have any other country other than Nigeria. And I believe perhaps this 2027 election that is coming up might change the narration narrative about Nigeria by the grace of God. This is my belief.
I think I would have talked about the whole issue of this. Part I didn't say is the tax system that is currently not active in Nigeria, and secondly also this one movement party. I call the one for me is a one movement party system, but that will be discussed on the part 2 of this very particular conversations on ISIN. That's your camera. What's your message to Nigerian leaders and the business environment of Nigeria? That's your camera.
First of all, Nigerian leaders should fear God. No matter how long they stay in power, one day they will leave, whether they like it or not.
Okay.
And they will be held accountable. If in Nigeria or in the world they escape accountability, they will go to where they cannot escape or stand for anybody, rather for themselves. And they will be held accountable for their own atrocities in this country. And they should also think that there's life after power. This power, no matter how long they stay, will not be more than 8 years. And there's a life after power. And they have their own children and grandchildren whom during their time, maybe they will not get the opportunity that the current leaders have at the moment. So they should think of their own children and the future of their own grandchildren, where we can have a peaceful Nigerian, where we can have a better Nigerian that will be called by everybody a home in Nigeria. This is the message I have for our leaders. And then the business community in Nigeria, we should not lose hope. We should just try and manage and survive under this situation. We don't have any other country other than Nigeria. Let us invest or do in our own bidding. If everybody refused, all of us refused, and move whatever we have to another countries, who will remain in Nigeria to do this for us? True. Nobody. And besides, wherever you go, they may only accept you because of the money you have, not because of who you are. So in Nigeria, you have your own siblings, your friends, family, and everyone. We can still come together and help our own nation. So let us work together as family. Let us work together as good Samaritans, Nigerians, to develop our own country. Thank you very much.
All right, family, that's how we come today on this very particular first one with my honorable guest, Yusuf Sharif Modu. Thank you so much for coming to the AfriOne Show.
I'm just having share with you.
Yeah. But I really appreciate you. And family,
it's my pleasure.
How can they find you in terms of if people want to look for you on your social media platform?
I'm the CEO of Explore Global Market Limited.
Yeah.
My website is there, and I have my own account on Facebook and Instagram, but it was actually, hacked.
Oh, okay.
So in fact, my Facebook account, I have over 25,000 followers, but it was actually hacked. So even the Instagram. But however, I instructed my lawyer to write to the Meta office in Lagos to see if they can resolve the issue and give it back to me. Thank you so much. But I'm the CEO of Explore Global Market Limited. My website is down there on the internet.
All right. If you want to do business with the CEO of Explore Global Markets, definitely you know how to find them on your social media platform and their website, most especially. But thank you one more time. I remain your host, the Afropolitan Apostle. See you on the second or probably subsequent edition of the AfriOne Show. Goodbye and God bless you.